If you want to be able to sustain in battles and get to the point where you can do damage like this, I mean, look at my crew. 1,780 lost, 17,096 lost for them. That's almost 10 times the crew. Right now, if you look, this is a huge battle. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 other players are battling me. I mean, of course, okay, so if you look here, I healed, and then they just kept joining. They kept joining. And when they hit about 17 people, I wasn't able to pick any more of them off. I think I had lost a boat or two of mine by then. This was see how long the battle lasted. Roughly 4 minutes. I've had better ones, like this one here. 6-minute battle. Or 5-minute battle. Why is this one saved? Yeah, we're gonna get rid of that. Where's it at? Look at this one. 8-minute battle. Look at that sustain. This is a while ago before I hit this boat level. I only had 4 boats then. I am just dishing it out. My hero setup's changed since then, but... Oh, here you go. Somebody the same power as me with a shit hero lineup. Maybe 1 boat, 1 lower level than me. 900 crew last, wiped his. I mean, complete and total shutdown. That is with another player, my level. Here, I'll show you right now. Chalky. Right there. Same power as me. Same boat level as me. Let's get into how to pull things off like that. So let's get straight into it. Today this video is going to be about ship setup, the gear equipped on them, the heroes, their damage, why I chose what I chose, and trinkets. Now, to start off with the video, I'm going to be showing you 2 battles, right? All of these right here were me farming up to get back to the rank Seawolf was at so that I could fight against him. Now, as you'll see, defeat, right? 1 victory. I swapped my setup to be able to beat the top player in my server. I've got about 1 million less power than him. He took the lead probably through research or better trinkets. I'm not too sure, but I was able to beat him. And if you watch the next 2 videos, I'm going to stitch in. Both are 30 seconds long. The second one with my sustain setup that wins was twice as long of a battle as the original. Alright, let's get into it. Basically what I'm saying there is the first one's sped up to 2 times. The second video where I win is sped up to 4 times. So as you can see, that sustain setup is working a lot better. So we'll get into ship types real quick. For the flagship, a lot of people run attack. You do not want that. You need a defense setup that's going to buff all the other ships. For the fearless princess, it's a strategist. You can check out these independently on your own, but I'll give you a quick overview. 7% ship attack, 7% more damage, up to... okay, that's a minor extra strategic damage boost. And then you get up to 20% more strategic damage after you afflict strategic damage. It stacks 4 times 5%. You got the Crimson Sentinel, which is an offensive blazing and drowning, but I do not run the blazing and drowning heroes on it. That is a big no-no. You need to run artillery on this boat so that you can counter enemy armor. 7% ship HP, attack 7%. Ignore this one, it's blazing drowning. 5%, okay, so every time your health drops 5%, the armor is increased by 3% up to 10 times. So when you're at 50% health on this boat, you have 30% extra armor. Cutthroat boat, that's the Warhammer. You're going to want to run Cutthroat on it. It's got increases based on Cutthroat. I'm not going to go over those. You can read them yourself. Blazing and Drowning boat, the Stormbringer. It's new with this season. Blazing and drowning damage, basically. Alright, so we're going to get into it. We're going to start with the Flagship. You're going to want to run Ahab. The reason is he throws shields on all of your ships. As you can see, okay, Sharky in the second place. I'm not exactly sure why, but I was told to do this by the people on the official Discord, and it has worked ever since I ran this setup when they gave it to me. Now, I've got Magnus here. He adds shields to your ships, and he also does damage to every boat in the enemy fleet when he uses a special. Now, if you don't have Magnus for your Flagship, which is going to add shields, therefore sustainability, you need to run Armstrong. On this boat, we'll get to it later if you don't have Armstrong because you're using it on the Flagship. But for the Flagship, if you don't have Magnus, run Armstrong. Trinkets, I go all for armor and aggro. It keeps the heat off of my other boats. Next, the Fearless Princess. Oh, wait, hang on. We forgot ship parts. Because you're trying to sustain and keep shields up for your other boats, you need to run Sovereign of the Sea, which adds 15% armor and 18% HP. I have the full set on my Flagship. Now to the Fearless Princess. As you can see, attack is very high. It's a strategic boat. I'm running Sovereign of the Sea because in all battles it was the first to sink, so I needed to buff its HP and armor like that set does. Sovereign of the Sea. Next, the hero lineup. All heroes placed are strategic. I'm running an attack boost on them. You need to buff the attack on the ship. Strategic damage, I've been told, focuses the weakest or the lowest health boat in the enemy fleet. All right. Again, that's Sovereign of the Sea. Attack. Now, this is where we get into healers. A lot of people will do attack on their Flagship or healers on their Flagship. It's a big mistake. One reason is you need sustain shields being applied to all of your other boats. All right. And it's not going to do that if you don't have those operators on your Flagship. Next, why no healer up there? Heals are scaled directly to DPS, to attack. If you look at your healers, they all say this. Replenishing HP equal to 161% of the ship's attack. You might ask why I don't have her on my highest attack boat. I do not want to debuff this boat. It's still going to pick up heals. 60,000 attack is plenty to filter into my healer. And I do not want to lose attack on my strategic boat. That's how I pick off boats when they're low health. All right. As for trinkets on this boat, Ophelia's best trinket from the officials is going to be either her special trinket, which I do not have. The recruitment has not opened yet in my server. Or they said Spyglass to buff her attack. I have full attack buffs on this boat. Buffing the attack, you might wonder why I'm not running healing trinket on my healer. I do that with none of my healers. I've tested it. The attack trinkets do perfectly fine in keeping your heals high because, again, attack is tied directly into healing. Also, the healing trinkets don't seem to do much. So you're definitely going to want to buff their attack all the way. All right, moving on from the Crimson Sentinel. Keep in mind that's a burning ship. I forgot the ship parts, so I'm running Blade of Freedom set all the way across the board. That's to increase their impact because it's an artillery boat, and their attack because I want to buff my healer. And it's been sustaining fine since the middle of Season 1 when I set this setup up. All right, my third boat, my third battleship. I'm running the Warhammer. I've got a healer in it to keep it sustained and alive. Again, buff attack across the board. I don't have a Tyrant's Hand for her yet, so I'm doing the best I can. You need to buff your heals on this boat, and in order to do that, full attack trinkets. It's an attack boat. You don't want to use your ship set for cutthroat damage. It does not work. It is absolutely, it puts you at a disadvantage. All of the ship sets besides Sovereign and Blade of Freedom do not do as well as they should. So you want to run Blade of Freedom for 15% impact and 18% attack. Attack trinkets, your typical cutthroat healers or heroes. Next, final boat, Sovereign of the Sea. Why? Stormbringer sucks ass. I mean, I've got it the same level as every other boat. It doesn't sustain as well. That's why I've got Armstrong here. If you're using Armstrong for your flagship because you don't have Magnus, you're going to want to run the next best, I'd say, Drowning or Blazing Hero to keep your damage high. You are going to maybe want to swap a healer there from one of your other boats that sustains fine without a healer if you need to keep it in the fight. I've got Kerstad here. This boat, what I've noticed is Blazing and Drowning do not really dish out that much damage. So I run Cursed Ed for his debuffs. He debuffs their rage. He increases their skill cooldown. He increases the amount of damage they receive with one of his attacks by 18% across the board of all damage types. And he decreases attack by 12%. This is huge for winning battles. Switching to Cursed Ed was one of the decisions I made when I was losing to Seawolf a week ago, and it worked. Tanaka, blah, 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 he's a burning hero. I've got the burning trinket on him. I'll swap to an attack to see if it really does better. I'm not too sure how well buffing burning does in this game yet. Got Salve of the Sea to keep it alive. That's everything. I mean, besides this right here, attack and armor increase. I don't have another shield, so I'm running all the shields to increase armor for my flagship. That's how you do it, guys.